This week on Hermitcraft.
But there's one they fear. In their tongue, he's Dovahkiin, Dragonborn.
Obliterate.
Welcome to the Hermitcraft recap. My name is Pixelriffs. Our writer is SloyXP. Captions on this video were provided by Liara. As we write this script, and hopefully still happening when this video releases, the Hermits are streaming a weekend of fundraising entertainment in support of Gamers Outreach. So we encourage you to go check out the event and give generously, even if you're just donating your time. Meanwhile, with one half of the Minecraft fanbase screaming Chicken Jockey, the other half has been screaming Permit Master. And the Hermits delivered, not only hosting an 11th hour game show on the server, but also promising an in-person Permit Master at the charity event. And for reasons we'll go into later in this script, the real winner is once again the audience, because permits are likely going to be for bragging rights and very little else.
First of the month I was open and no one turned up.
Same.
So without further ado, let's take a look at all the events and mishaps that occurred on the Hermitcraft server this week. Starting with XB Crafted, purely because he's one of the only hermits who was completely unaffected by the bureaucratic shenanigans of the last few weeks. XB decides to bus in some guardians to hang out in cages and encourage the trident duelists in his PvP arena to stay on the move. And we've got to show some respect for him, including his Call of Duty sniper montage in there as well, after last week's action dared to suggest he wasn't good with a bow. The Trident Arena is now equipped with all the gear teams will need, and with how the rest of the week played out, the Hermits can at least step into the watery Thunderdome without concerns about ending up flung to the far reaches of the known universe.
And play it, and then hopefully people are, I definitely do not have to be here for people to use this.
Of course, no arena on the server is complete without the Gemini Tay seal of approval. Arf. But the same skill with the sword makes her quite tricky to put into exile, as well as the fact all her shops are actually in compliance with permit code. Neither of these facts stops good times with Scar, who has kind of gone mad with power over the week and figured might as well exile them all and let Cub sort them out.
Oh boy, all praise be Cub, all praise be.
It doesn't help that his week starts by being ran over by a freight train all at once, thanks to Doc M's clever minecart suffocation trap. You'd think train cars wouldn't suffocate, but they suffocate Scar just fine.
We were squashed. No, my secret bed location has been revealed. Who found the bunker?
That's when it becomes Operation All Out Exile, and Scar does more permit work than he's done all year, starting with actually extorting the outstanding glowstone and sponge permits from Tango Tech under threat of TNT.
I might not be able to find them.
Activating TNT in 20, 19,
20?
18, 17.
And going on to relocate Juice Smallish Beans 30 million blocks to the side for the crime of making fun of the permit office a couple of weeks ago.
Zero questions recently about what my name stands for, so I thought I'd tell you all. J stands for juice.
And just when Joel has finished his glass art of a mangrove tree on the side of his mangrove farm. Hope that doesn't get blown up by the on-duty TNT duper.
From side on, it's not looking great at the moment, but it's okay. We'll fix this in the future. No! Oh, no.
In all fairness, Mr. Beans has many Ender Pearl stasis chambers hidden across his base, but that will prove pretty useless when soon enough there won't be anyone here to activate them. Within that context, Gemini Tay actually got a nicer treatment. Scar only convinces her to switch off her spawn bed to come visit Exile for a time, even helping her set up an Ender Pearl stasis of her own. Only to re-exile Gem as soon as she teleports back.
Thank Grian.
Scar?
Bye.
Just goes to show that after Scar spent 2 seasons mainly hot guy sniping people from great height at a great speed, no one really expects him to try anything else in a battle. That being said, he does mastermind himself into his own trap multiple times in a row when trying to lure Joe Hills into dying during the secret PO bunker tour.
Oh.
We got him, boys! We got him! Dude, the incompetence of hermits will never be suppressed.
But the ultimate end of the Constable Good Times comes when he comes to reap Judge BOO and, quite expectedly, gets locked into a legal stalemate because, much like everyone else, Scar too has some unused permits he forgot to give up. So Scar can exile B-dubs for breaking the code, and B-dubs can sentence Scar to exile for breaking the code, and since they're all friends on this server, both of them get what they wanted.
I don't really want to be out here, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I want to go back home.
In the meantime, Joel walks into the free starter house Cub built for fresh exilees and blows up immediately.
Is there an ender chest? Oh! What the heck is that? Why is that?
The new Hermiton doesn't greet them kindly either, having been made a battleground between Cubfan and iJevin. The escalation gets to when, 10 minutes after, Cubfan proudly presents his trapped castle to the newly exiled Skizzleman, iJevin blows it up, using the TNT stolen from other Cubfan traps, no less. And admittedly, the bit where Jevin finds Cubfan's secret base in the wall of the Hermiton settlement and raid it, and the bit where Cubfan finds iJevin's war room and rigs it to fill with fireworks at the smallest provocation, may not be happening comedically at the same time, but it's very funny to pretend that they do. Also, at some point, Cub just finds a door in the ground that blows up. This is only 2 degrees of separation from painting a tunnel on the side of a wall at this point.
So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna place a bunch of these down. Well, I just died. I'm not entirely sure what just happened, though.
Along with all the decorative improvements he's made to the exile area, Cub has painted a pretty large target on his back, and while Rendog successfully guilt trips DocM77 into getting Skizzleman exiled, Ren plans a PvP arena with an explosive twist. Having earned the shulker of trap materials from Azuma, Ren clear-cuts an area of the Pale Garden and installs a TNT minecart mechanism under the floor, only to be activated, he hopes, when Cub throws one of the offered splash potions.
If everything has gone correctly, it will only be set off by a splash potion. I'm logged on with my fishing rod until Cub logs in, and then it's go time.
The trap is not without some premature explosions. The forest is a dangerous place. But his plans are ultimately foiled when the freshly exiled Skizzleman shows up to velocite him. The heart-to-heart they have in the aftermath ends with Skizz flying away from the center of the arena, and to a skulk sensor, firework rockets and splash potions make the same kind of buzz.
Dude, you trying to kill me again?
Wow. Why can traps never go right, gentlemen? Why? No.
At last, we get to see the exiling of Skizzleman from his own perspective. It's a week of fall traps for the poor guy, starting with False and Cleo, reaching its peak with Doc M's minecart trap in the permit office bunker.
What is this?
Then a bonus round once he reaches exile itself. After he's blown off steam by dive bowing Rendog, he starts to see how some of the permit office's actions might have been a little bit harsh, and seeing the situation escalate to TNT minecarts on both sides, it's no surprise to see Skizz having a change of heart. After all, his was nearly blown up at least twice. But an attentive viewer will notice that this leaves only Grian as the final permit office employee, and really there's only one last thing he could do in that position: Hermit Permit Harstermaster. As a heavenly glow descends on Joe Hills, Grian invites the last 4 unexiled players, as long as you don't count a bunch of other people, but let's pretend Wells Knight isn't back yet, to play the game of wit, speed, and chance, and do what he tells them to for once in their entire lives. Again.
The reason we have 4 people here is because there's not a lot of people left here. That's the main reason. Things really just went downhill.
Cleo, Mumbo, Pearl, and of course Joe Hills answer the call and get to dunk on him right away when the first prompt is to build a mythical creature, and Mumbo builds a biblically accurate Grian.
The pesky bird, but pesky spelt P-E-S-C-E. Pesky.
Oh, fishy.
Because it is part fish, part bird.
But little do they know, the whole operation is also a ruse to get everyone present to set spawn at the bed near the event, which Grian then detonates with so many TNT minecarts you'd think XP Crafted was somewhere nearby.
Obliterate.
With that, almost everyone active on the server ends up on the exile spawn island, surrounded by burning trees, pale camps, and as per the season tradition, fish. And a full tour of the remote prison colony only confirms what everyone's already been thinking, that this whole thing kind of got out of hand at some point. 100 anvils over Ren's ship were quite a hint, if anything, so after gathering once again, the group makes a decision to reset the server spawn back to its original place so everyone willing can easily unexile themselves, and to let the judge be the judge of what should be done with the permit office, and really the permits in the first place. What follows is a courtroom debate so enthusiastic we feel we owe an official apology to whoever had to subtitle this for Grian's own video.
You don't tell me in my courtroom that this doesn't make sense. I make law.
But ultimately the decision comes down to High Justice B-Dubs' special, a single coin toss. And just like that, the permit system is no more, and so is the whole enforcement institution.
They'll be asking for the permit office to be back when anarchy reigns and the shopping district has 10 of the same shop.
No, I don't think they put Doc in Skyblock jail this time, but they really should have. Although Doc might make the argument that perhaps they should put a zoomer there instead, as he objects to Pearlescent Moon that X's trial chamber shop is overstepping its permit by also selling armor trims and pottery sherds. We're not sure if the abolition of permits gets a zoomer off the hook for selling those, or Doc M off the hook for caring. But at least Pearl gets to see something that'll last forever. Your fan art for Pearl up in its own gallery.
All right, let's see Larry.
See, I think I don't know what the Larry lore is here.
Simply just a rubber chicken that I used to distract a monster that could not see, it could only hear.
A zoomer in exchange gets shown around the ballroom, and Pearl gets a quick tour of Exile before she's sent there permanently by the Permit Master competition. She is, however, technically the winner of Permit Master 2.0, and therefore the resin permit, but as aforementioned, we're not sure if that still counts or not. We say technically Pearl is the winner because the real winner is the audience. Just kidding, it's Joe Hills this time. Joe's entire platform of conscientious objection to the Permit Office was in its refusal to host another round of Permit Master, so Joe is overjoyed to participate, especially after being hounded around the server by the enforcers. He was even testing out more techniques for PvP avoidance by moving breezes around in the nether using infinite minecart momentum and suspending their wind charges in stasis for massive enderpearl launch capability. But these are all techniques he gets to repurpose for the Permit Master challenges, and the Poe seem to have given up on actually trying to chase him down. As we see when Good Times with Scar just sort of asks him nicely to jump into this obvious trap.
I'm right here, Joe. Come on in.
Is it working? This is the worst, Scar! I'm genuinely trying. I cannot see. My monitor does not allow me to see where this hole is in the black concrete.
After all the court proceedings have proceeded, the group gets to acknowledge the accolade of Joe reaching 1,000 episodes of Hermitcraft, which is something we here at the Recap can't possibly hope to achieve until at least Season 16.
How does it feel to make 1,000 episodes of Hermitcraft?
Honestly, I thought I had made 1,000 episodes like years ago. Oh no, I have nothing planned for episode 1,000 and it's in like 5 days.
And finally there's Mumbo, who was in Patagonia and the Minecraft movie while everyone else was in exile, but fortunately there's still time for him to participate in Permit Master and get the fast track to the Farlands. And we've got to extend some appreciation for him returning to the embarrassing death message that kicked off this season. It's not nearly as embarrassing as being blown up by Grian, so it's no wonder he rage quits, rage joins again, and immediately declares exile pants. But at least it doesn't last long enough for it to become the shoes, shirt, jacket, and hat.
The only blocks are gravity blocks. I'm gonna miss the verdict. Oh no.
And that's about it for this week's recap. Our writer is SloyXP, and my name is Pixel Riffs. Captions on this video were provided by Liara. Don't forget to leave a like while you're still here, and subscribe so you won't miss future recaps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.